In 1939, one Finnish farmer with a rifle killed over 500 Soviet soldiers in 100 days. The Soviets called him the White Death. This is his story. Simo Häyhä was born in 1905 in rural Finland. He was a farmer and a hunter. Small guy, only 5'3", quiet, unassuming. Nothing about him suggested he'd become the deadliest sniper in history. In November 1939, the Soviet Union invaded Finland. The Soviets had over 1 million soldiers, thousands of tanks, and complete air superiority. Finland had about 300,000 troops and outdated equipment. The Soviets expected to win in weeks. They didn't account for the Finnish terrain, the brutal winter, or soldiers like Simo Häyhä. Häyhä was 34 when the war started. He was called up as a reservist and sent to the front lines in the Kola region. The temperature dropped to minus 40 degrees Celsius. Snow was everywhere. And Häyhä, who'd spent his entire life hunting in Finnish forests, was in his element. Häyhä used an old Finnish M28-30 rifle with iron sights. No scope. Most snipers use scopes, but Häyhä didn't trust them. Scopes could fog up in extreme cold, and the glass could reflect sunlight, giving away his position. Iron sights kept him invisible. He'd position himself in snow, wearing all white camouflage. He'd pack snow in front of his rifle to prevent muzzle flash from giving him away. He'd put snow in his mouth so his breath wouldn't steam in the cold air. He stayed motionless for hours, and then he'd shoot. One shot, one kill, over and over. The Soviets had no idea where he was. They'd send patrols to find him, and he'd pick them off one by one. In some reports, he killed 25 men in a single day. His confirmed kill count reached over 500. Some estimates go as high as 700 when including kills with a submachine gun. The Soviets were terrified. They started calling him the White Death. They sent counter-snipers specifically to hunt him. He killed them too. They tried artillery strikes on areas where they thought he might be hiding. He'd already moved. On March 6, 1940, Häyhä's luck finally ran out. A Soviet soldier hit him in the face with an exploding bullet. The shot destroyed his lower jaw and part of his face. His fellow soldiers found him and assumed he was dead. Half his face was gone. But Häyhä survived. He woke up 11 days later when the war ended. The Soviets and Finns signed a peace treaty on March 13th. Finland lost territory but remained independent. And Simo Häyhä, against all odds, lived. He spent years recovering from his injuries. His face was rebuilt through surgeries, but he was permanently disfigured. He never complained. When asked about the war, he'd say he was just doing what his country asked. Häyhä lived a quiet life after the war. He went back to farming and hunting. He rarely talked about his wartime service. When reporters asked how he became such an effective sniper, he said, "Practice." Simo Häyhä died in 2002 at age 96. He lived long enough to see the Soviet Union collapse. He lived long enough to become a legend. His record as the deadliest sniper in history still stands. No one has matched his confirmed kill count in such a short time period. And he did it with basic equipment, no scope, in some of the harshest conditions imaginable. The Winter War showed the world that numbers aren't everything. The Soviets had vastly superior forces, but the Finns, fighting on their own territory in conditions they understood, made the invasion incredibly costly. Soldiers like Häyhä became symbols of Finnish resistance. Finland's independence today exists partly because of men like him. The Soviets could have pressed their advantage, but the Winter War was so costly they accepted a negotiated peace instead. Häyhä never saw himself as a hero. He was just a soldier, doing his job. But his story became legendary because it represents something people admire. One skilled individual making an enormous difference against impossible odds. So remember Simo Häyhä, 5'3", a farmer with a rifle, and the most lethal sniper in history. If you want more incredible true stories from history, subscribe for new videos every other day. Thank you for watching.